Her voice didn't shake. It wasn't fearful, it was too even, too emotionless, like she'd practiced it. Dad, don't ever go back to that house. I stopped halfway through unzipping her overnight bag. She was just 8. And kids that age don't talk like that. I knelt down in front of her, trying to meet her eyes. Why? What happened? No reply. Just a faint exhale. Then, slowly, she reached into the front pocket of her backpack and pulled out a phone, my old phone, the one I'd given her so she could play games. She placed it in my hand. Watch this, Dad. The screen lit up. A video played. It was shaky and low quality, like the recording had been started accidentally, or maybe not. Then I heard it, my mother-in-law's voice. Sharp, smug, unmistakable. She doesn't have a clue. Just like her father didn't. Poor guy. All these years, and he still thinks she's his. A light laugh followed, soft and cruel. Then another voice joined in, my wife's. I know. But it's fine. He won't figure it out. He never does. They were talking about my daughter. My throat went dry. I watched the video again. Then again. The words didn't change. She's not mine. But I was the one who carried her out of the hospital. I sang her lullabies, helped her tie her shoes, soothed her after nightmares. I'd been her everything. They'd stolen what mattered most to me. But now, I had evidence. I didn't call my wife. I didn't cry. I didn't collapse into tears or explode in rage. I simply tucked my daughter into bed, kissed her on the forehead, told her I loved her. Then I sat in the living room, staring at nothing for 3 hours. Everything blurred, her birthdays, bedtime stories, the scrapes I kissed better, the way she clung to me in fear. If she wasn't biologically mine, then what was I to her? What were they to me? The video kept looping like a blade dragging across my chest, slow, deliberate. She's not his. He won't figure it out. But I had figured it out. And now I couldn't unknow. Still, I needed more than whispers and recordings. I needed truth, undeniable, clinical, black and white truth. I went to her bathroom, grabbed her toothbrush. Then I swabbed the inside of my own cheek with a cotton pad and mailed it off for a private paternity test. No drama. No confrontation. While I waited, I observed. My wife didn't notice my silence, or maybe she did, but mistook it for ignorance or weakness. She still kissed me in the morning. Still played the role of perfect mother. Still smiled a little too easily. But I watched her closely. How she always kept her phone angled away. How her fingers moved across the screen too quickly. I cloned her phone one night while she showered. The messages between her and her mother confirmed everything. The panic. The timeline. The plotting. He's acting strange. You don't think she told him, do you? She's just a kid. Stick to the story. Each message was a silent confession, wrapped in cowardice. 4 days later, the results came in. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stood there in the bathroom, staring at the document that seemed to erase my entire identity in a single line. Probability of paternity, 0%. 8 years of deception. 8 years of playing the role of father under false pretenses. I waited until the following Sunday dinner. Her mother's house. Everyone was there, my wife, our daughter, her mother. Laughter floated around the table. Glasses clinked. I asked my wife to pass the salt. She smiled and handed it over. I unfolded the DNA results and placed them in the center of the table. She didn't reach for it, but her mother did. One glance. Then another. Her hand tightened around her wine glass. My wife finally looked down. The smile vanished. She picked up the paper. Opened it. Read. She said nothing. No denial. No pleading. Just silence and wide eyes, her lips quivering like I'd just become the enemy. I leaned forward. Quiet, sharp. She knows. She heard everything. Her face crumbled. A soft sound left her mouth, a mix of a sob and a gasp. But her mother broke first. You shouldn't have. This was between us. I shook my head. Calm. Cold. No. This was between you. I was just the fool standing in the middle. No shouting. No scene. I stood up, looked at my wife, the woman who stole my chance to be a real father, and then turned to my daughter. She was quiet, wide-eyed, her small hands gripping the table. I knelt beside her. You're mine, I whispered. No matter what they say. You're mine. She nodded. Just once. No tears. I handed her the overnight bag I'd packed ahead of time. Let's go. She didn't look back. Neither did I. Behind us, voices rose. Dishes clattered. I left the DNA results on the table. Left the phone with the video in it. I knew she'd see it again when she tried to unlock it. That was my revenge. Not anger. Not destruction. Truth. Truth that didn't shout. Just slowly unraveled everything. We stayed at a hotel that night. Small, quiet, safe. She curled up against me, and for the first time in days, I finally slept. The next morning, I filed for divorce. No arguments. No custody fight. Just one phrase written clearly in the documents. Fraudulent paternity. Let the court sort the rest. I already knew what mattered. She's not my daughter by blood. But love doesn't care about DNA. And betrayal cuts deeper than any lab result ever could. My wife lost a husband. Her mother lost control. I lost a lie I thought was my life. And in that loss, I found something freeing. I'll never step foot in that house again. But she'll always remember. I walked away with my daughter, and with the truth. Final line. They never thought I'd put the pieces together. But they forgot who taught her to watch, to listen, to understand.